Good evening. Welcome to Hamilton Southeastern Intermediate and Junior High. This is our first orchestra performance for the year. This is our annual Spooky Sounds concert, which is made up of our 7th and 8th grade orchestra classes. My name is Jennifer Fowler, and I'm the orchestra director here, and I am dressed as Medusa. I'm surprised none of my students turned to stone yet, so let's see if they will. That means they're watching, right, when I conduct. So this is the Philharmonic Orchestra, and we are going to have some students introduce our pieces for today.
This is Philharmonic Orchestra, which is made up of students who are in their second year of playing in orchestra. The first piece we will be performing for you this evening is Shiver by Randall Strandridge. Imagine you are walking in the dark. The wind whispers across fallen leaves. Distant sounds echo across midnight landscape. The cold sends its icy fingers dancing up your spine to rest on the nape of your neck. You begin to shiver. In this work, the listener should imagine a cold night engulfed by a sea of darkness. The melodies paint a picture of a lone wanderer walking alone at night, trembling. Sometimes we find shelter, sometimes we do not, but either way, we shiver.
The second piece will be performed for you this evening is House of Untold Horrors by Lauren Bernofsky. This piece features a narrator where the orchestra makes special sound effects to add the spooky story of Lovis Willoughby, a ghostly house and special resident. This has been a fun piece for our orchestra class to learn experimental notation when it comes to reading music, which is very common when you listen to music in movies and television. The narrator to this piece will be performed by Mahi Kandala. Miscellaneous solos will be performed by Maisie Thiem, Cedric Taylor, Alyssa McFarland, Kennedy Taylor, Emma Watchout, Josephine Perez, Claire Shoemaker, and Jane Kwabuli.
I did want to forewarn some of our listeners, we do have some more experimental type of sounds in this performance. So if you have any sensory sensitivities, I just wanted to give you a heads up just because I know that sometimes for littles or people, for myself included, like I use headphones and stuff when needed. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. Whenever we have miscellaneous soloists, there may be some experimental type of sounds, okay? All right.
It was raining that night, as Willoughby's Wallaby walked slowly down Nunnery Lane. It was a light rain, a gentle rain, but just enough to send a chill down the spine. Willoughby's Wallaby walked along, listening to the sounds of the night. He heard an owl, a frog, a shark, and from far, far away, the sound of a lonely violinist practicing scales. But suddenly, it started to rain harder. Yes, it was a heavy rain now. Willoughby's Wallaby quickened his pace, and as the wind started to blow in great gusts, he began to look frantically around for a place, any place to seek shelter. Suddenly, he saw a house with a large porch and a light on inside. He climbed the steps up to the porch. Finally, shelter from the rain, but not from the wind. That wind, that cruel, harsh wind, it seemed to rip away at his clothing as if it had chosen him, Willoughby's Wallaby, as its victim. Willoughby's Wallaby's heart started to beat faster. He knocked on the door. Slowly, slowly, the door opened. But no one was there. Wait, someone was there. Willoughby's Wallaby looked down, and there, standing before him, was a single, solitary, ghostly white. Kitty! The kitty approached him. It rubbed itself against his leg and purred loudly, as if to say, "Dare to enter this house, and you shall never leave alive." But for some reason, Willoughby's Wallaby found himself being drawn into that house, as if controlled by a force greater than he. Willoughby's Wallaby entered the house. He found himself being drawn from room to room, as if guided by a ghostly presence that he could neither see nor feel. He entered a sort of library. There was a heavy, musty smell in the room. He heard the sound of scuttling rats. Through the dim light, he could make out bookcases towering above him. Never before had he seen such tall bookcases. His eye followed the bookcases all the way up to what seemed like an impossibly high ceiling. He heard from somewhere a clock striking 9. He felt himself being drawn into the kitchen. There were those scuttling rats again. And then he saw it. On the table, sitting right there. On the table just inches away from him. Oh, it was too horrible to picture. Yet picture it we must. Yes, sitting right there, on the flowery china plate, was a cupcake. And on top of that cupcake, with sickly-looking orange frosting, on top of that was a jelly bean. And it was, could it be? Yes, the jelly bean was licorice! The sheer horror of the sight was enough to shock him back into consciousness. Now having fully regained his senses, one thought, and one thought only, flashed in his mind like a strobing neon light. Escape. Willoughby's Wallaby bolted out the room, down the corridor, through yet more rooms. Another corridor, doors bursting open as he flew like a rocket. Through the house, he arrived at the front entryway, but standing before him again was the purring kitty. However, the kitty was no match for his frenzy, and he sped towards that front door. Oh wait, the kitty was a match. The kitty ate him. The end.